And now, the failed system Wii U presents Nintendo Theme Park Talk on Thanks for Writing.
It seems that Universal Studios has signed a deal with Nintendo to, at some point in the future, produce Nintendo-themed attractions, or possibly an entire Nintendo land. It's a recent happening, and no further details at this time. As much as we know here at Thanks for Writing. The crack news team. Thanks for writing.
And I'm not a gamer. I don't consider myself that. I grew up with Nintendo, the original Nintendo and Super Nintendo, but I really don't know what's going on with video games these days very much. But Brian, I think you keep up with it more than I do.
Yes, and this particular subject matter is right up my alley because what I do keep up with is Nintendo. I don't play the newer stuff. I don't play Grand Theft Auto. I don't have an Xbox. I don't have the current PlayStation. I do have a Wii U. So I followed Nintendo and the systems all the way up, just about the entire chronology. I skipped GameCube.
I think a lot of people skip that one.
Yes, but
from what I gather,
that's the only one I actually never had. So I am very up on what's going on with Nintendo.
More than me. I just know Mega Man. That's the only thing I really still play a ton.
Yes, you do.
Other than that, though, I never played any of the Zelda games, and I just know the Mario hits and etc.
Yeah, I played up to the recent Super Mario Wii U, and also the one that came after that, which was Super Mario 3D World. I played the Donkey Kong Country they made for Wii. Haven't gotten around to the Wii U one. So I kind of know what's going on.
All right, yeah, so anyway, that's where we're coming from a little bit. Anyway.
All right, so what might we see in either an attraction or an element of a themed land as far as integrating Nintendo characters, properties, worlds, I guess the greater world of Nintendo, into the Universal theme parks? I guess it would have to be Universal Studios Hollywood, Universal Studios Florida, or Islands of Adventure. So what do you think, Andrew? What are we going to see?
The first thing that comes to my mind is they'll probably use these characters with some sort of kiddie attraction or kiddie land, because video games still today, I think, are generally thought of as a kid's thing. I think that's changing because of the millennial generation, because we're both millennials, and we grew up with video games. I think more is more integrated in our lives than it was in the past. But I think that mindset still exists where, oh, this is children's stuff. So I think it would probably be relegated to some sort of kiddie attraction.
Really? That's what you think?
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with that. I think video games have just become extremely accepted.
Okay.
And, as just another form of entertainment, movies, TV, video games, it's just kind of right up there these days. I will say, though, that Nintendo specifically represents a segment of the world of video games that does seem to skew younger. If they had created a deal with Rockstar Games and we're going to do a Grand Theft Auto attraction, then that would have to be adult because the games are adult. But seeing as how it's Nintendo, maybe there is a tie-in with kids more. But then, you have our generation that grew up with this stuff, and it seems to be one of the key elements of our generation that we don't like to give up what we had when we were younger. We just keep going back to it, just kind of endless loops. You rediscover it again every 5 years or so, and I guess we'll just keep doing that until we're dead.
Right.
There's going to be the 80-year-old men looking for a new side-scroll Mario game, I guess, at some point.
Yes.
When we all get that far. I guess it's going to be. That's just the way it is. That's what our generation seems to be doing. So you have that crowd, though.
That's true. I don't know if Universal is going to tap into that.
Yeah, if they're going to go for a nostalgia crowd, or if they're going to go more for kids, or if they're really smart, they could figure out how to do both.
Oh, sure, yeah.
And then make it this thing that's going to appeal to the youngest kids up to at least around 40. Older than that, they kind of predate Super Mario and most of the other characters, so you may not get them no matter what with the Nintendo Land, but certainly you can get 5 to 40 if you do it right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So what can they do? What could they do though?
Well, Mario is Nintendo's most well-known character.
He's the face of Nintendo.
So I would have to think anything they do would involve Mario.
It's got to start with Mario,
Right.
and the Super Mario Brothers, or
people
Mario as the stupid voice they created it in about '96 and then just never let go.
They really never should have had him speak.
He was fine.
I think that was a mistake.
Lou
I don't know.
Albano. Captain Lou is Mario, okay? And will always be to me.
Okay.
Do the Mario, swing your arms from side to side. Come on, it's time to go. Do the Mario, take one step and then again. Let's do the Mario all together now. You got it. It's the Mario. Just like that.
I think either it would be something related, whatever attraction they come up with. Whether
If they go attraction, or even if they go land, maybe it could be a Mario Land,
Sure.
right? It would be more the idea.
If it was either whether it's a land, an actual ride, or a show, whatever they do, it's going to involve Mario in some way, or
No Luigi?
well, the Mario universe, that particular universe.
Yeah. Mario Brothers.
It's either going to be just that, or they're gonna try to include the top, whatever it is, 7 most well-known Nintendo characters. What I'm trying to say is I don't think they would make like a Zelda specific attraction or Donkey Kong specific attraction. That seems too specific. I don't know.
So when you said top 7 characters, you just meant top 7 characters in the Mario world?
No. It's either going to be only Mario.
Because if you're going 7, then you're going to Zelda's there.
No, I'm saying it's either going to be only the Mario Brothers universe, or they're going to pick the top Nintendo characters and use them all together at once.
Oh, okay. Which has been done in the games many times already. The Mario Kart series has brought all characters from a lot of the games together, and the Smash Brothers series has done that. So, I guess if they go with one of those themes, then that's a way they could have all the characters in one attraction, all the most well-known characters. So they could go that route, or go specific. Okay, so you're
like I don't see them making like a Zelda Dark Ride or something like that.
just Zelda.
I can't see that happening. Because if you're gonna do this for the first time, I'm saying if they really are gonna build a big attraction, I mean, who knows what the hell they're gonna do? They could just build a kid's play structure, for all we know.
Right. We don't know, but
But if they're really gonna do like an all-out attraction, like a Dark Ride or something, it's got to be Mario, or it's got to be a bunch of those characters from that universe.
All right, so I see what you're saying. Okay.
Kirby's not getting his own ride.
You make a good point. No, Kirby's not. Zelda might be the only one that I could see, and only because the theme just lends itself so well to something like
that's
that.
true, yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
well, in the case of Universal, though, it's kind of like they already did it, and they tore most of it out for Potter. They already did the Lost Continent, which is kind of what a living world of Zelda would be anyway. So that probably makes that a little less likely, just for that fact.
And I'm not saying that that's necessarily what I want to see. It's just what I think. I think that's the direction Universal will go with this. One of the possible realistic directions.
So you think they're going to go Superland with this one?
I think so.
Superland. So it's going to be very themed, very detailed. It's going to have to feature a anchor attraction for it to be one of those lands. Just it's going to have something like that, and then have some unique food.
Yes.
And that's going to be tough because they have brought the characters together, as we just mentioned, in a few games, but they all do still come from a unique world.
Right.
So it would be kind of difficult to kind of flow from one to the next
Yes.
without it becoming too segmented.
Whatever they do, I think it's going to be tough because, I mean, at least in this country, parks don't really do video game themed stuff.
No, I almost want to say this is going to be a first. Is there anything?
What, Six Flags Over Texas had Pac-Man Land?
Oh, yeah, years ago. Yeah, the Kittyland was Pac-Man.
But the scale that Universal will do this on, if this truly comes to be, no one has ever done that in the past, the way Universal will eventually do it.
Oh, yes.
With really detailed theming and food options and whatever, all this
Well,
stuff.
the first time video games will get a treatment like this in parks.
Well, all right, so Brian, what do you think, your realistic prediction, what is it for this brand new partnership?
That is really tough. I don't know if they're going to be able to go Superland on this. To do it right, you'd have to almost do a whole park just on that, where you had Donkey Kong's jungle, and then you had Hyrule, the Kingdom of Hyrule for Legend of Zelda, and then you had the Mushroom Kingdom for Mario. Those are the three biggest. I guess whatever kingdom or planet Metroid came from or inhabits.
Oh.
That's another biggie. That one I've never played, so I don't know all the details. But, and I did think of that. One of my first thoughts was Third Gate.
Oh,
When I heard they signed to Nintendo, because, and I don't know that it would be limited to Nintendo, but I thought it could be a first step in what their next park will be, which will be the first ever video game park. So maybe they will try to get eventually Rockstar Games and a couple others and go for it, because that's certainly a place you could go.
It is.
Considering Universal's history, and when they did Islands of Adventure, they really went for something big and newer. A lot of never before seen things at that time. They then kind of went ahead within that same park and pretty much invented what we're calling, at least here on Thanks for Writing, the Superland in Harry Potter. And so if they were going to do a Third Gate, I think they'd want to do something else, first of its type, and something pretty big, another step. They've done movies to death.
Yeah, I was just going to say that would definitely be a departure for them, because I mean, if they were going to do another Gate, I would think they would continue to use huge movie franchises. But
but then what would differentiate it from the other two at this point?
Yeah, I don't know. Good
I mean, then
question.
they went back and they put London, second half of Potter, in the original park,
right.
which it kind of blurs the lines a little bit now,
Yeah, right.
because it really was that one was the studio backlot, one was stepping into a fantasy world, and they've kind of went backwards now and brought more of that stepping into the fantasy world stuff into the original park, because it ended up working better and drawing more people in than the original park ever did. So, but what are you gonna do? Just a third park of that? I would think they'd want to go in a new direction
Could be.
if they're going to go all out with it. And then also that goes back to where we started, where this could be their foundation for the kiddie/family land, a portion of that park. And then again, if they can get some of those big video game franchises that are more for the teens and the really just the full-blown adults at this point, and then those would be the action-packed land, the Marvel of the new park.
Okay.
The Nintendo section or a couple, 2 or 3 areas that make it up would be like the Seuss or Toon Lagoon kind of part.
Okay.
So just a thought. I don't know if they're really how close they are to a third gate. I think it's inevitable, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen anytime soon. But then again, right now is the time that the money's pouring in.
Yep. Right.
That Comcast is really serious about continuing to build, specifically the Florida resort. So I know there's a couple rumors out there early on, but I do not see it just being the overlay of Toon Lagoon
Oh.
or Marvel's Superhero Island, like some people are saying. I don't really see that. I don't know why. It's possible. I'm not saying it couldn't work, but just making a Superland and fitting it into islands, for some reason I just don't see it.
The style that Universal did the recent Superlands in the Two Potters and the Simpsons, it's really different from how they did Toon Lagoon back in '99. I just think that's interesting because if they were to do a Nintendo Land, they've moved away from like that Toon Lagoon style where it's comic book strips, but like they've come to life, like they're stepping out of the comic strip literally, and it's like a mess and it's weird.
I think what you're trying to say, to simplify it, Toon Lagoon is the cartoon characters stepping into our world. Potter and Simpsons is us stepping into Hogsmeade or Springfield.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say. To be perfectly honest with you, I don't really care about this.
What?
No, I mean, theming something to Nintendo or Nintendo characters, it doesn't really excite me. I'm interested in the actual attraction or possible third gate or something. I mean, the Nintendo theme, I honestly, I don't really care about. I could go either. I could take it or leave it.
Yeah, I agree. I didn't like jump up off my seat when I read it. I don't think there's anything that I would do that for. As far as, someone signed a deal to put this character in a ride, because in the end, it's all about it's all about the attraction.
Right.
There has been a history of examples of awesome attractions that were based on something that was created entirely for that attraction. It was not a movie or a TV show or a book or a video game or anything. So it's becoming harder to find these days, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, nobody is about doing original concept attractions anymore. Actually, Cedar Fair's, they're the only ones.
Oddly enough.
Yeah. With Knott's, they're doing their original concept dark ride, and Wonder Mountain's Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
So they're the only ones.
Yeah. Okay, so all that aside, what do we think we could see, though? What are some of the elements we could see, either attractions, individual attractions, or elements to the greater Superland, based on Nintendo?
You're going to see Slide as an attraction. It's the pipe from Mario. You go down the pipe.
A covered slide?
Yep. A green
But
those
pipes
slide.
were usually vertical.
Well, you could put like the top of the pipe as like a facade where it's like it looks vertical when you actually get up there to...
Oh, but you're entering below that. Okay.
Yeah, you could do that.
Well, they play the sound effect. So there'll be a sensor when you first...
Sure.
When you first push off, it'll go... That's,
Yeah, sure.
sound effect. Okay, sound. It's the first one up. That's disappointing. It's depressing, really. It's good. Well, gee, there's probably endless opportunities to have another hub and spoke flat ride.
Oh yeah.
Another Dumbo ripoff.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be paratroopers, the turtles with wings.
Oh yeah,
that
yeah.
you board. They could be
Those guys. Okay.
alternating green and red shells.
Yeah. Yoshi.
You could do Yoshi's with the wings, which when he ate the certain turtle shell, I believe it was the blue ones.
Blue ones. Okay, sure.
Would make him sprout wings and he could fly.
Oh, will we see Bowser's Castle?
Oh, we have to, right?
I guess.
Bowser's Castle. Bowser's Bounce Castle.
There you go.
It's just going to be a bounce house. Wow, we're really keeping the budget down here for Universal. Just throwing a carnival hub and spoke, couple slides, and a bounce house. You're all done.
I'm sure they'll have plenty of mushroom food items that you can eat.
Oh, they have to do the power-up mushroom?
Yeah.
What would that be, though? A marshmallow?
Yeah, you know what? That could work. They'll figure it out.
And then would they have the fire flower?
Oh, that's spicy. That's a spicy food.
It's a spicy marshmallow.
Yeah, because you breathe fire after that.
Oh, what about drinks? They always do drinks.
All right.
What do they have?
They're gonna pull all their drinks from Soda Lake, right?
If they go Mario World. They have to have bananas for Donkey Kong.
Okay. Yeah.
Donkey Kong's fried bananas. or chocolate dip bananas.
Right. Those things. Yeah. They could do a kiddie coaster with a mine cart, like in Donkey Kong.
Oh, well, they could do adult coaster with that. Really?
They could.
Yeah, good Donkey Kong Country minecart board. Bring that to life. If they could figure out how to do simulated jumps like that on a coaster track, that would be something.
Or they'll just put in go-karts, and there's your Mario Kart.
Go-karts. Yeah, it seems like you're thinking of Six Flags is doing Mario Land. You're doing Six Flags doing just Mario World at this point.
These are the first things that are coming to mind.
All right, that's fine. That's fine. It's all valid. I'm not saying it's not valid ideas.
Or you could do like
I'm not saying it's not ideas that are actually going around a table right now at Universal Creative, because it has to almost be. It may be that they would never honestly in the end do go-karts, but I'm sure it has to at least be thrown out there and thought about for a second. Like, you know, is there a way we could do go-karts and then do the Universal spin on them?
Oh.
You know, I'm sure it's an idea that someone's thrown
Okay.
out there to think, is there a way we could do them? And then you do have an experience to spin out, like when you're hit with a turtle shell.
Or you have weapons somehow?
Not that anybody would actually have weapons, but it would just be like things are happening around you, and then like, oh, Bowser on the side threw a shell at me.
Oh, okay.
You know, an animated figure on the side, and then but your car would just suddenly spin for a minute. Of course, we know Universal doesn't like
Okay.
spinning anymore
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
since Cat in the Hat, so not terribly likely. But I'm sure it's being thrown out there. It almost has to be. But that's more likely, I think, simulator. You know, you could experience a Mario Kart race, you know,
Right.
and move, but kind of be more in it.
Well, yeah, you could simulate being hit by stuff with the simulator really easily.
Oh yeah, you could have a SNS style drop tower with like Donkey Kong on top.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I don't know what they would do with Zelda. I have no idea about those games. You need to
You
go
could-
around to different shops and look for items. I don't know.
It's real life role play.
It's the souvenir shop. You buy shit.
Zelda souvenir shop. You buy a sack of bombs. Yeah, that could actually be a really good Spider-Man type ride.
Oh, really?
That would lend itself to that sort of a moving simulator 4D adventure ride.
So instead of a flying bench, it's like a flying log.
Oh, well, I
or
said Spider.
something?
Yeah, or even Potter. Yeah, whether we want to go that way, go full robot arm, or just do the
I
sim
just
pod on a track. Either one, but
yeah. Well, yeah. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. You know, I don't know how you're gonna put like a car in a Zelda world.
that's a little complicated for any of these.
But I just think the flying bench would probably work better. You could call it anything, a flying turd, I don't know, whatever, flying sword.
Yeah, I don't know how they figure it all out, but I think it would lend itself to that.
Oh, I know what they'll do.
Oh,
They're just gonna build a giant arcade and have these Nintendo games in there.
there you go, Nintendo Warehouse.
That's my prediction. That's what. That's why they got the rights.
Forget everything we just talked about, folks. The Nintendo Arcade. That's what they're doing. We figured it out. Arcade and gift shop.
Well, they're definitely gonna have coins as a souvenir, right?
Oh, the coins.
Chocolate coins, you know.
Chocolate coins.
Yeah. And
Oh,
they'll have
yeah.
some sort of a block that you can. It'll be like a photo spot where you can like hit the block and like a coin's coming out or something.
Oh, all right. They'll have to sell the Master Sword from Zelda.
Oh, okay.
Master Swords.
How do you say that and I just
Yeah.
give you a blank stare?
Yes. Folks at home can't see that, but
So his sword, Link's sword.
it's like, yeah, it's you level up throughout the game, each one.
Oh, okay. Isn't there like a tri
Well, the
something?
Triforce, sure.
What is that? They'll sell that. That's a souvenir. That's also chocolate.
Well, that's sort of that's sort of the it's the MacGuffin of
Oh,
Zelda.
really? Okay.
That's always what they're going at. That's what the bad guy's trying to get, and then
Ah.
you're trying to get it out of his hands or keep it out of his hands.
Oh, so Transformers. They could do that. Dark Ride.
Do it like that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that would the Triforce and ultimately attaining it would probably be part of it.
This is really interesting, actually. Trying to think up stuff. I mean, we're goofing around here, but I didn't think it would be this difficult to come up with
Yeah,
a bunch of concepts for rides.
it is harder than you think.
So yeah, I mean, of course, you know, we're not ride designers. We're not paid to do this. So the folks at Universal are, of course, they're very good at what they do, with coming up with these ride concepts and trying to piece things together. But I think this is gonna be pretty difficult to come up with a solid attraction concept using
Well, if not multiple ones.
yeah, using these characters and these worlds. That's gonna be hard.
Yeah, it's very tough because
Because it's not. I feel like it's more difficult because it's not something like in a movie, like in Harry Potter. You know, they had that Gringotts bank thing in the books and the movie, and as soon as I mean, I just saw the movie, and as soon as I saw that in the movie, I'm thinking, oh, it's a roller coaster, and then like they actually did it. I feel like with video games, it may not be as apparent because there's so much more going on. There's so many games and so many different settings for these characters. It's how do you? It's just
I think I think it's tougher because we already kind of said it briefly, but yeah, how do you get the excuse for us to be in there?
And I was gonna say, and in all fairness, I'm not a video game guy, so it's harder for me to come up with these ideas.
Well, yeah, it makes
So
it more
there's that
difficult
too.
as well. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not sure what else
Well,
that's coming immediately to mind.
some kind of shooting gallery.
Oh yeah,
Because those are the closest thing to video game
well, it is a video game.
style attractions. So if
That
you're doing
Toy Story thing is a total shooting.
if you're
game. It's a
doing-
total video game.
it's a total Wii game.
Yeah.
So if you're doing Nintendo, you would do something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, if that's another really great possibility.
Yeah.
If they're only going to do one attraction, maybe it would be their version of Midway Mania.
So okay, so they already have Men in Black, so now they do there's a different style.
Their all screen version
Yeah.
of that kind of ride.
Man, that would be really, really disappointing.
If that's all we get out of this.
I would not want to see that. Yeah.
Well, you don't like Midway Mania.
I'm not the biggest fan of Midway Mania. It's okay, it's fine,
I think it's fun.
but it's I do have fun when I'm on it, but man, is that a lazy attraction. It's just a goddamn video game that they put in a theme park. They're trying to pass off as a theme park attraction, and it's like, come on, guys, you got to do better than that. I paid $100 fucking to get in here. You got to give me something more than a Wii game.
I think it's kind of fun, though. I think it's a neat idea.
Oh, really? It kind of pisses me off.
No, I don't get that feeling.
All right.
So that's a possibility here.
Well, it would have to be something with screens.
Yeah, outside of something with screens, it's really hard to see what you're going to do.
Yeah, either that or some sort of kid play structure
Go really lazy on
with
it.
with static characters and some water and whatever. But again, yeah, they signed this deal that is kind of a waste
Yeah,
to just do that.
maybe we're thinking about this all wrong. Maybe they're going to base it on the early 90s Super Mario Brothers movie.
Oh, okay.
Starring Bob Hoskins, John Leguizamo, and Dennis Hopper. Of course, it's a natural fit. What were we thinking this whole time?
Actually, yeah, they build that Mario universe.
Yeah, that's like the dirty
Where it's like a shitty city.
It's a
Yeah.
dirty, semi-futuristic city.
Okay, right. That was not a good movie.
No, no, it was not.
You know what they could do? They could try and recreate Video Armageddon from the classic 1989 movie The Wizard.
Yes, we're totally forgetting the fact that Universal and Nintendo did once work together.
That's right. So they actually have some history.
Yeah, this is not the first time. This is just the first time Universal and Nintendo working together in some 6 years.
At the end of The Wizard, which is a essentially 90-minute commercial for Nintendo, they go to Universal Studios Hollywood for a video game contest. The whole point of the movie is to get to this contest because this little kid is really great at Nintendo, and they get chased around the backlot by their parents and this other creepy guy that wants to get the kid. I don't remember exactly. Anyway, if you haven't seen the movie, I don't know if you really need to, but the end of it involves a theme park if you're interested. No, actually, there's something really interesting in there. They go in the old King Kong attraction that's now gone.
Well, the part of the tram tour.
Right. And they go like behind the scenes, and you get to see a little bit of the lower half of Kong that you can't see, or you couldn't see from the tram. And that's pretty cool.
So will they bring back the Power Glove?
Oh, they just might.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
Maybe that's
Well,
the
you know-
controller. Maybe that's it. Maybe. But instead of like the gun
It's not gonna be the zapper?
or the would-be, oh, well, that's a natural too.
They gotta do something with
What
that.
about the Super Scope?
the Super Scope.
That was so much cooler, right?
Yeah, right.
No, they could have the Power Glove. You put the glove on, get in the ride vehicle, put the glove on. And it's the Midway Mania style, but then you got to control every scene with every game with the glove.
You know, this is something that we didn't talk about, which is in a video game you control the character. It's not in a movie you don't control shit. You're just watching it. So whatever's on screen is it. That's what you got to work with. The video game, you control the characters. You can do a bunch of stuff. I don't know. I don't know if that plays into it. Why it's difficult to come up with some of these ideas. Because like nothing happens unless you make it happen in a video game.
So you're saying we're trying to think of ideas where you're making something happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess if there's no interactivity element to it, it almost seems like that can't be right. Keep thinking.
Yeah, like just a simulator.
Or just a roller coaster.
Or just a roller coaster. Or even just
it
a
does
dark ride like, Spider-Man Transformers-esque. I don't know if that would seem right.
It seems like it's missing something.
I think it has to be like a shooting gallery or some other new concept maybe that we haven't seen where there's some sort of interactivity. Because, yeah, I think you're right. I think it would feel strange.
It'd feel incomplete.
Yeah, because with these other attractions like Transformers and stuff, it's like the old Universal slogan, ride the movies. How do you ride a video game?
Ride the game.
Yeah.
You played it, now just passively ride it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like passive entertainment versus active entertainment. Video games are active entertainment. When
Yeah,
you're
you're
driving
calling
it,
the shots.
You're doing something. So, yeah, if you're not doing that, then it feels kind of empty.
Because then it's just pure character recognition. It's just, oh, I know this character. And that's as far as it goes.
Yeah, that's as far as they may be able to get, though. I mean, you could do one maybe new style interactive ride, but that's about it. Where they could figure out how you can, like, jump. Have a jump button. Jump at precise points or something. Jump over stuff
Yeah.
coming at you.
There needs to be something where you're controlling some aspect. Who knows? Maybe they'll make a Transformers type dark ride and it'll be great. It'll work because the ride concept is just so solid anyway. It's just so impressive anyway that there is no way. The interactivity part is not necessary.
You put anything on it and it's good.
Yeah, the next big idea that Universal has, maybe, yeah.
But this was a revealing exercise for us. Because even just on a joking level, it's really hard to think of anything that works, or more than a few things that work. I don't even know. We beat this to death. I don't know.
Yeah, we definitely did.
We have.
It's like, what came out of this? We have no idea what they're gonna do.
As far as the more recent Superlands they've done, it's much more Simpsons than it is Potter.
Agreed.
You know, one kind of a screen-based attraction, and then just a hub and spoke, a couple of shops, and some unique food. And that's really what it's more likely to be, no matter how you slice it. So, there you go.
Thanks for riding!